Let's go from that'll do. I'm sure the levels will be absolutely fine. We'll start from there.
Buzzing. Hello.
It's another thing.
Yeah,
We started strong.
we have. Look at
Mm-hmm.
that. All the dead air in the world. All the dead air in the world
Thing
can't
is,
stop us.
right? Dead air is better than the fucking air that I was just hearing coming from your side before whatever magic noise cancellation you just did. Now straight into the deep.
Go on.
I've been watching Lost.
See, I've never watched it. The reason why I've never watched it is because one of the girls I liked at school used to watch it, and her talking about it put me off her on the programme.
Understandable.
Because I got the impression from her, before I'd heard anything else about the programme, I just got the impression that she was a bit thick and didn't really understand this programme and couldn't explain to me why she liked it. But she would go on about it a lot. And I'd be like, oh, I think you're thick, you. And it really put me off her.
Gotta be honest with you. She might not have been thick. That thing's fucking batshit mental, mate.
Is it?
Absolutely batshit mental. Is there any feedback on my side?
No.
Absolutely crystal clear.
Sounds it, yeah.
Absolutely buzzing, that'll do. Yeah, she might not have been stupid, because that thing is, you'd love it and hate it.
I don't know if that's an insult. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a bit of both.
Oh, and what is an insult, though, is the message before going, I'm going full on Jack on this. Like, using me as a verb for what I assume is what's synonymous with schizo.
No.
Oh.
It's a very specific thing you do, which is completely dissect media, because no media can exist without it somehow being related to some sort of worldly event or conspiratorial issue.
Well, I have actual. I didn't know you were going to say that, but I do have proof of that as well from this week. But go on.
See, so you're insulted when really you should actually take this as a massive compliment, because I've now coined a term for any time anyone does any sort of hard investigation of media like you do.
Jacking
you should be, yeah, jacking. I'm jacking off.
Yeah,
jacking off. That's what I'm going to call it. So yeah, Lost. You'd fuck. I mean, it's already steeped in conspiracy. Like, it brings up so many conspiracies.
Well, it starts off with the missing Malaysian airline, doesn't it? In essence, it's a plane crash of some sort.
You could say, and this is sort of the thing I was getting on, is with my investigations, we'll say, was that these are
no
all...
need for the air marks. They're investigations.
I don't want to be someone who says that. I don't want to be one of those people who like exists in social media world and goes, "Oh, I've been doing my research," which essentially means they've done 3 searches on Google and read 2 BuzzFeed articles, and that qualifies as research.
Yeah, but we've not normally read any of that.
This is
It's normally just from our heads.
You say that. In your case, yes. Unfortunately, I don't have I can't just immediately tap into that vein like you see. You have got a unique talent, right? You have there's a switch. I don't even think it's a switch in your brain. I think it might be a switch, but you have no control over it. It just goes off at random times, not like a bleep test where it's rhythmic. It's like one moment you're fine and next moment we'll go full Jack. You go full Jack.
Yeah, that lasts months at a time each time.
Yeah, you don't have any control, but you don't have to draw from anything to get to that either. Like, you just spout these theories without having any real, I read a thing, or I did a thing. You're like, it's just there. I'm not that strong. I'm not that powerful. I have to actually draw from sources and read stuff. So my flaw is actually that I do read stuff, and it taints my view, as you've quite frequently pointed out. It taints my view and means that I'm susceptible to the messages from them or they, however they wish to be known.
They like to be known as that. You can't misgender them.
No. I imagine they would get really pissed off if you misgendered the theys. They
would not be happy.
They would not be happy. But Lost seems to be like a precursor or almost a warning for things that were going to happen.
Like what?
Well, MH370 is a good one. That's a fucking great shout, because it come well before the Malaysian Airlines crash. And
was it before 9/11?
Nah. And here's how you know it's not, because they spend most of the first season blaming the one bloke from Iraq for the actual crash of the plane, thinking that he was a terrorist who caused the crash of the plane.
Okay.
That's how you know it's after 2011. It's classic. Blame the brown guy for a plane falling out the sky.
He's got a beard.
Yeah. That's essentially that's literally the first few episodes. Whoa! It was definitely. I bet we're gonna find your passport intact at the scene. No, you got flight obviously crashes. Yeah. Collection of people, much like MH370, like there was the amount of people that got rumoured to be on it, like gathering of engineers from governments and shit like that, and all these like theories that flew around at the time. There was nuclear scientists on it and shit. There's loads of varied people of importance on the plane, somewhat. In obviously one of the things that was pointed out in the MH370 theory was that the plane diverted its like flight path and was going in another direction. Well, in this, they actually turn around at some point to go back because the pilot thinks that like they can't continue the way they're going. That there's that like I don't know if it's turbulence or storm. I can't remember now. I've been watching this fucking high as fuck. But like,
what if that prophesized what happened the other week with that person who took a shit down a plane?
Say what?
You not heard of this? No.
Oh, mate.
Someone had a massive shit on a plane, but it's like the explosive diarrhea, and they had to run down. Is it a gangway of a plane? Yes. Is that what it's called? I mean, that's always asking for throwing in gang in there. They're expecting bad stuff to happen, but they run into the toilet and you just shitting as they went, and it caused that bad of a problem. They had to reupholster the plane and recarpet the plane. They had to retake the plane back. I think they were going from. I think it was.
Did they go back to Dortmund or somewhere?
No. It was. I think it was like Chicago to Italy or something like that, and they went back to America.
Why did I think I thought?
And they'd spent 3 hours in the air, so it was another 3 hours in a shit-filled plane.
That is fucking.
Because it was quicker and safer to come back than.
I'm well surprised that Ryanair, being the tongue-in-cheek naughty boys of promotion that they are, haven't come out and gone, yeah, it costs extra to have extra bags, but no one's shit themselves in the alleys of our plane.
At least it's clean.
Yeah. At least it's shit-free. That's the sort of shit that Ryanair would do.
Or they'd take pictures of all the wipeable surfaces instead of having. We don't have fabric, but
Ryanair,
we do have this lovely vinyl.
£2 extra for a plastic bag over your seat, just in case. No, I don't think that happened in Lost, although it would explain a lot. Because it would definitely cause the driver to perform some sort of risky maneuver. I definitely couldn't be in charge of a plane if I had like. You know you can't concentrate when you're going out to toilets at work or so. I don't know if you've worked in an environment where you have to go to particularly horrible toilets. Like I'll be honest with you, out of a factory and a call centre, I would have always said to you, before working in both, factory would be much worse. I would have always said that because I'd have thought, nothing but blokes for the most part. Like, blokes using their hands, people that are seen as the dregs of society in some way, shape or form, myself included. And then call centre, I mean, not great by any means, and still a certain set of people work there, but more lasses working there. It's more of an officey based environment. You would have thought that the standards of cleanliness were better, but fuck me, call centres are so much worse. And the diet that they're fed in a call centre obviously contributes to that. But like, you can't concentrate in those places. You can't go in there and do stuff.
What are you trying to do in there? What do you need to concentrate on?
Just fucking think about anything. Have you ever worked in a call centre? Anything else?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I did for like 3 days. I used to ring people and try and sell them windows.
That is great.
And I got told I was too aggressive and that I had to go on door to door instead and knock on people's doors.
Whoa. So, because you were too aggressive at doing things over the phone, they were like, actually, mate, you're too rough with these people. What we really want you to do is go face to face and be horrible to them there. Really pressure them in a personal situation.
And that's what I did. I was very good at my job.
just putting
But they didn't like paying me, unfortunately. The people I worked for, they had all these weird shitty rules in place where they would just keep changing the dates that I'd set for bites and for sales and do interviews with the customers and that, see what windows they wanted. They kept changing them and lying about them. So I started setting up fake appointments with people I knew to test them, to see what they would do. And then when I found out what they were doing, they would ring up and say, look, we booked you in for this day, but we're going to have to actually postpone that for 4 weeks. They were doing that to the people that would work for them so that they wouldn't have to pay us, so that we would get them jobs and then we would leave before they would have to pay us.
That's some great detective work.
Yeah.
That's some actually impressive detective work.
Thank you. I also tried to scam them as well across the whole city.
Oh,
but it didn't work.
Well, go into detail on that.
So I made a spreadsheet on my computer initially, which I may even have on the old one.
Are you liable for this or anything like that? It doesn't matter.
It never happened in the end. It didn't happen. Nobody went for it. Everybody said. A lot of people down here, it turns out, are fannies and are afraid of making a fiver. So I said to them, because I would get paid 40 quid for each person I could get to have a sit-down thing for doors, windows, fascias, things like that. I was supposed to get 40 quid. So I said I went round a lot of the local pubs and gentlemen's bars and things like that.
You went to gentlemen's bars?
There's some of the things you have over the door here. They're called like gentlemen's bar and things like that. It's not like a strip bar, it's like a con club. You got a con
like
club,
a workman's club.
Yeah, but they call them gentlemen here instead of workers' club.
That's very strange. Southern as fuck. That.
I think it's got something to do with the ports. Really.
Yeah,
maybe. I'm not sure.
They just think they're a better they just think they're a better class of person than us, mate. And it's fucking annoying.
You look at you when you go in there, the walls still look like they've got nicotine on though, so it looks like a nice place to drink.
Pints are like £2.
Probably, yeah.
$2.20,
so they're definitely all gentlemen in there because they know they've got to behave to be allowed back in to keep the cheap beer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was going to these and I was like, look, I'll give you. I want you to take this sheet here that I've made. It's got my phone number on it, my name. I live down the road. My name's this. I've been working for this company, but I know that I'm pretty sure that they're ripping me off. Now, if you can hold a thing here so that they can come here and give a little thing with your punters, or you get your punters to sign up to this, I will personally. I think I offered them 50 quid. I said, look, I'll give you 50 quid now if you sign up to it and you do it, and I'm going to come back. I'm going to come in every 3 days to see who you've signed up for it. And I said, what you're going to do is you're going to sign your punter up for it. I'm going to give your punters a fiver, a tenner for it, for sitting through the thing. Yeah. And I'm going to give you a fiver yourself. And they were like, why do I only get a fiver? I went, because you're signing up low. It gives you, what's the word? Incentive to sign up as many as possible that drinking here.
You're turning into the fucking door-to-door people here.
Well, that's... And I said, I'll give them a tenner because they're going to spend that free tenner in here with you that their wife doesn't know about me. So you're getting all of that money and it's pumping up your sales and you've got an extra fiver off each person from this that you don't have to put through the books. And none of them signed up to it. None of them. And I've often found this, mate. I thought people would go for that.
Yeah, and you know what? Usually when you come up with fucking daft ideas that you say you've done with people in the real world, I sit here from like my, I'm not gonna say
ivory tower.
Nah, I was gonna say like pedestal, but it isn't because I'm not high and mighty myself. But I sit here as an artist who can operate in the real world.
I don't have that.
You're 50%. You're 50-50.
I seem to do a lot of stuff. It seems illegal by mistake or threatening by mistake.
I would have to say that most of the things that I've done that are illegal have been on purpose.
See, there you go. Then.
Yeah, this is a difference. But the thing is, I've also avoided a lot of legal things on purpose.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But I would agree, and I tried to do this in the last job as well. In the place that I can't talk about.
Yeah. Were you doing it to? Why were you doing it though? To prove that they were robbing you, or to?
I was trying to be Robin Hood and steal from the rich and give to the poor.
See, I was just doing it for money and out of spite.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't make any money, but in my head, if nothing else, I could fucking share loads of money out.
Fair enough. Did it work?
I gave some money out, but some people you just had to have like conversations where, without blatantly saying it, you had to let the other person know, shall we say, or give the hint that, here, what I'm trying to do here is give you money, play the game, say the right things, basically say what I'm saying to you back to me, almost word for word, just verbatim, and then you'll get fucking free money, or you'll have no debt, or whatever. And some people...
No, that's a good shout. It's just people on tick, and you just...
Mate, the amount of accounts, the amount of people that rang us up, we're like, oh, we've got this, and this with you, and we can't afford to pay. We've had a couple of months, so lost jobs, blah, 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 blah. Company policy is I send you to collections and get that money and wipe my hands clean. I haven't got anything to do with you. The amount of times where I was like, oh, I'll ring you back in an hour. I've got to check something on the account, and then that hour call would come later on an outbound call that wasn't recorded because outbound calls weren't recorded. And, oh, sorry, mate, I'd look at your accounts there, and all the accounts actually, you don't owe anything. All the lines should be operating. I don't know what the problem is. And then sometimes...
to sign up again.
No, sometimes it'd be like, oh, right, yeah, thank you very much. And I'd get like an email later from them, be like, yes, thank you for this, blah, 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 blah. Or sometimes I'd be like, what do you mean? Can you go into it and have a look? Because I'm sure I've got collections money. I'd be like, you fucking stupid. Are you for real? I'm literally trying to fucking wipe your slate clean.
So you were just wiping them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's mint, mate.
Yeah, hundreds.
I wouldn't clock that. I'd be so worried that something's gone wrong and I'm going to get bailiffs at the door.
Yes, this is what
There's
I thought
a genuine fear
yeah.
there, isn't there, with that?
Yeah. Some people would be like, well, why is it gone? Does that mean it's gone to a debt collector agency? I'm like, no, it's gone into the fucking ether because I've deleted it. You all fuck all now. Piss off. Because I'll probably face prosecution if I get caught with this. Go and enjoy your free Sky Telly, you daft cunt.
That's mint. No, see, mine wasn't nearly as altruistic as that. I was just trying to piss off the person that ran the company.
Yeah, I was trying to piss off my company.
But mine was a small company. Mine wasn't like a conglomerate. Mine was just a local family that thought they could have one over on all these young guys working for them, and I was like, I'm not having this, mate.
Once it doesn't matter on scale. Once a company or any sort of organisation of any number starts doing shady shit to the people that are on their bottom rung and the people that actually make their money, they're a target. That's game. That's fair game. You can't hide behind the fucking family business thing if you're going to be a cunt, because that's not a family. Your family should be everyone who works in a business.
One of the things that made me that twig, it was initially, I remember having this weird conversation with a guy.
We will get back to the Lost after this, because I've been watching.
Yeah, no worries. I remember having a conversation with a guy trying to convince him he needed a flat roof, and I was trying to force him into saying yes and signing this thing at his
Why?
door.
Flat roofs are shit.
Yeah, but it was an easy thing to get people agree to.
That is kind of evil. That is actually kind of evil from you, because flat roofs actually, they're so annoying. The noise as well. Yeah, the noise as well.
It was on a garage as well, and the garage was already built on the piss. It didn't look great, and I looked at it and thought, I can say all sorts of it. And I still had all of because I'd been working on sites the year before, like for builders and stuff, and gardening for a couple of years. So I knew a lot of little bits of terminology that was enough to probably throw the layman. There's some
things coming out about you where you're starting to see that you're not like, just the squeaky clean person that we once thought you were. We once thought you were just. No, we once thought you might have been
simple.
No, we thought you were. We thought you were fighting the good fight.
I was fighting the good fight, but I had no other way of getting a job at the time. It was either that or do stuff that was illegal. I'd rather do immoral stuff than illegal stuff, knowingly at least. So that's where our
differences lie. I'd much rather do illegal stuff than immoral stuff.
See, I don't mind about. Obviously, my morals are askew anyway. Like my day-to-day life would make some people cry. So, like work-wise, it'd be torture for them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well,
some. Anyway, so I'm trying to convince him he needs this flat roof, and I'm like, look at this. This is. In essence, this is fuck. He's like, I can't really afford it, and I can't put my name down to anything because and he had a speech impediment, this guy, and he said he was off to Digger World.
No.
He did. No, but he did say it, and I was like, pardon? I don't know if we can say that, sir. Where is this? Is this a holiday? What do you mean? Like, what's going on here? Honestly.
Yeah.
I was just because I didn't know how. I couldn't say to him, "I'm not listening to this," because I honestly thought I didn't know he had said to do with JCBs. I thought he'd said the other.
BBCs.
But I also, yeah, but I also didn't. That's the first and only, and because it's questionable.
Carry on.
So I said, I was like, I didn't want to lose the sale, but then I also saw that as a bit of like a flag, as if to go, be a cunt now, force him into this
100%.
because
Yeah.
this guy's clearly a dickhead.
You're the dickhead though in this situation, yeah.
Well, yes, because I'd backed him into a corner and then misheard what he said and then treated him like a proper racist.
Fantastic.
But I don't know if we can say that, sir. I don't, where is this? What is this? And then he was like, oh, they just have loads of JCBs. And I was like, I don't understand, sir. I don't know. Is this a joke that's gone awry? And he was like, no. And then he was like, Digger World, you've never heard of it? And I just went, oh, right, no, I've never heard of that. But you do need this roof. And that's why I remember it. And I brought it up the next day in the office. I was like, I've met this guy yesterday, and I'm sure he said this, but then he said it was this. And then I got a phone call later that day. Turned out that was one of the owner's neighbours. And she was like, I do not want you on that road. You shouldn't have been on that road. You should know not to go on that road. I live on that road. Don't be hassling the people that live along there. Don't be trying to make any dealings with the people along there. And I was thinking, but they're your neighbours, so surely you'd want to do a good job by them. And that's when the really my head was
penny
like,
dropped.
Yeah, I was like, right, I don't think everything is like proper.
Yeah, you don't shit where you eat, sort of thing. So what are you doing? You audition out some subpar
you're clearly
product.
doing something dodgy as fuck.
Cutting your tarmac with fentanyl. Or something like that.
Yeah. Mixing it in with Cocoa Pops.
We're going to snap, crackle, and pop roof.
Oh.
But
go on, Lost. There's fog in there as well. There's fog in Lost, so it's getting you into the idea for like global warming and weather being scary.
There's smoke. However, on top of that, like not just smoke. There's in one of the in a very early episode there's a polar bear. Polar bear comes and attacks because what this is so. The flight's going from Australia to, I think it's going to LA. See if I can pop that mic up a little bit because it's a fucking. There we go. I think it's going to LA, and they're meant to be lost like somewhere in the Pacific. The nearest place south of them is Antarctica. It turns out. So we've had a polar bear. Right. We've had the plane turning back on itself, crashing. We've had the MH370. An island where all the people have landed. You could say that was related to MH370 as well, with all the theories about being taken to the island of Diego Garcia, where that massive military base is, and where people hypothesize that Tupac lives with Elvis.
Oh, just off of Cuba.
It's not. It's. I don't think it's. Is it just off of Cuba? I think it's a little bit further out.
Most people say that they've gone to an island just off of Cuba.
Somewhere out that way. But I know it's called Diego Garcia. I don't think it is Cuba. Is it not near Hawaii or something like that? Because the island in Lost is based on Hawaii. That's where all the fucking shooting's done anyway. But then you've also got people start taking the people. The plane crashes. Everyone's fucking on the beach and shit.
All right.
Others come, people who pre-exist on this island, and start like taking people, primarily the kids, and they take at one point they take a woman who is pregnant, who then has memory loss for a couple of weeks, and then when she gets her memories back, she remembers that she was kept in like an underground bunker where they were basically. Oh, you've got that little noise. I think your noises come back on in the background. But it's all right. We'll fucking work through. They were going to take her bairn. They put a vaccine into her bairn through her stomach. And they were going to kill her, take the baby. She got out. Someone freed her. So
do you find out why they were going to take the baby?
I'm only in season 2, mate.
Okay.
But there's... on Island, the acquiring of children... Is this not some sort of... This is pointing to the Epstein.
Yeah, it could be the Epstein ish. Could also be a little bit of alien abduction and deep underground military bases, DUMBs as well. A lot of people report when they get taken that they end up in a place, and then other people have described that place as underground military bases as well.
It's always because if you think it can't be above ground because we'd see it, or you'd be able to see it from Google Earth.
No,
like
only if you've got the diacetyl glass.
No. Let's just be with your actual eyes.
No,
Generally,
no.
you'll be able to see it above ground. They're still in normal buildings. This is a normal building. It's just
Have
a
you never
bunker.
been worried though that like shopping centres have underground bunkers and stuff?
Why
Because
would I
it'd
be
be-
worried about that?
I worry about it, man. When you see someone walking around in like a city centre where not many people dressed like quite smart, and you see people in suits walking around shopping centres, you don't think, oh, they might be going into the fucking downstairs bit of this shopping centre. Because
No.
a shopping centre would be a fucking mint place to hide facilities and testing facilities and things like that for the local populace.
It'd be a terrible place to hide that shit because you'd have
Not at all.
You'd have thousands and thousands of witnesses who would see stuff that they weren't meant
Yeah,
to
but
see.
think about how many people walk around there almost in a trance. More people will walk into you in a shopping centre, in like a indoor shopping centre. They'll bump into you than outdoors.
Yes, I get that, but you actually don't want anyone to see the shit you're doing, so it's a fucking terrible place to have anything.
But they
like
won't
that.
know, because think about all the doors in the car
Doesn't
park.
matter. Doesn't
All the
matter. No.
doors in an indoor
Listen,
car
you're not
park
getting it.
that
You're not
you'll
getting it.
see.
You're not getting it. You're not getting
I'm
it.
never going to, Jimmy.
Yeah, you by having it in a place where there are people of any number,
Right.
at least one person who isn't fucking oblivious, of which there are more than one in the world, is going to see. You have those places in areas where no one's going to see at all. You're literally putting them
Right, but you
this
say
is
that.
not no. I'm not going to take this hiding in plain sight bollocks because it is exactly that. It's bollocks. It's
Today
bollocks.
I was in the indoor shopping centre.
Why
today,
isn't Area
and I
51
saw-
out in
why
the
is it
front
the
garden?
middle of nowhere
Why is it in the
and
front garden? Why isn't it in the front garden of the White House? Why isn't it
Because
underneath
everyone's
the White House?
suspicious about it being in the desert. And everyone's like, oh, where are they going? What's going on up there? Whereas nobody's watching someone walk to fucking JD.
Yes, they are.
and
Our
think,
people
where
watch
are
all the
they
time.
going? I saw about 8 people all dressed in black. There was a guy in a suit, and they were all just pointing at a door in the shopping centre and all stood around. And I
Probably
just
workmen,
looked
mate.
at them.
Probably workmen,
They weren't
mate.
workmen.
Mate.
Some of them were women, and they were young.
Right.
They're not. They weren't workmen.
Apprentices then.
All together. Just
Why
all
not?
like
Yeah.
8 or 9 apprentices.
A new
for what?
a new intake.
Ah,
Have you ever worked in any line of work where those people would exist? No. So you're not going to know exactly what their roles are.
I suppose.
I'd be like, why is that man buying bags of dead rats? Oh, is it because he's a taxidermist? No, that's a stupid idea.
He's going to
obviously
throw them at cars off the
he's
bridge.
going to make grenades out of these rats in some sort of Extinction Rebellion attack on the Tate.
Oh, I've got something about Just Stop Oil as well.
Right?
I saw today a video where they were stopping a coach full of migrants, and I was wondering, right, because that doesn't seem to have much to do with what they were saying, because like Just Stop Oil people were against oil and cars, but if you're using a coach to move people, that's better than putting them, like 4 in each car. So
Yeah.
it doesn't make much sense to me anyway. And then I thought, what if there's a secret about oil that they know that we're not being told, and oil's actually made from crushing people up, and that's why people have been going missing and why they've been having wars all over the place.
Well-
Because loads of people went missing in America in like the mid 1700s and early 1700s when we went over there and killed them all, and those people could be described all to they could all be described to look a certain way, and they were then no mored by the people that went there.
This is very true.
And then suddenly we start finding loads of oil in America. Then we go to the Middle East, and lots of people start going missing in the Middle East.
Yeah,
And we don't know where they've gone, and that keeps happening, and it started happening again recently. And then we start getting loads of oil from there. So what if there's a little something that we're not being told about oil, and that's what they're trying to stop, but they won't tell us that on the news.
So wait, let me get this straight. Do you think, because if I could be with you on this, so do you think Just Stop Oil are actually like a bunch of undercover investigators who have been following these cases and realised, look, lads, the reason that oil's not running out is because we've started making it from humans?
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
so we
And that
as
might
in
be
you
what
and I,
Epstein was doing.
you and I should actually like Just Stop Oil.
I don't know about like them, but maybe show them a little bit more respect than none at all.
Respect the hustle.
Yeah. And now
Right.
they've kept stum about the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? Like they've not wanted to scare everyone. They're just a bunch of old people that are trying. Because that's why they're all old. Because you realise it as you're getting old, and that's why we die of old age now. Because they have realised, they're like, fucking hell, we can't let them live past fucking 65, 70. Once they start sitting around and getting on them free buses, they've got a lot of thinking time. And they realise.
It's true. This is very true. I mean, I'm not going to put it past them. I'm trying to work out why they're targeting paintings and that, if that's the case. And what would you want? What would you actually target if that was the case? I mean, oil.
Well, you would stop a coach full of migrants,
I suppose,
because that's a bunch of people where potentially people aren't overly sure where they are.
So if
we
we got
the families and that might not know, and they might just be on their way to some form of like the equivalent of like a Cyberman processing facility where it's just some massive mincers in the ground.
Yeah, if we got to check, because they're all getting sent to Rwanda, so if we got to check Google Earth, Google Images for like
meat factories
Rwanda and just see if like massive grinding stations have been set up, like that fucking that horse killer machine that you sent me the other day. And
yeah,
couldn't figure out how it kills horses. It's just a big black box in the middle of a room.
You couldn't force a horse in there.
No, but you could take a horse to a horse death machine, but you can't make it get inside. Yeah. that age old motif. It's a possibility, mate. I mean, there's going to be a point, as much as this could be some sort of a joke of an idea, there is going to be a point where the source of oil will be dead humans, because obviously it's just compacted shit or compacted dead things for millions of years.
Yeah, it's dinosaurs.
We're going to say... No, there's no need to use the air quotes. It was dinosaurs at one point.
Well, it's not though. It's a type of plankton out of the ground, isn't it?
Or what? Isn't that a fucking dinosaur?
No, planktons are alive. It's like an algae. You make oil from
algae. Now it is, but those ones that are down the at the bottom layers, those things are alive.
Supposedly. Life comes in all sorts of shapes and sizes.
All right, Mystic Jack, fucking hell, lad.
Yeah, see.
You're getting all prophetic, fucking. Yeah. When did we swap Rosie and suddenly I'm the daft cunt and you're the one with all the wisdom?
Well, I've got to be careful because I've gone close to the line of racism a couple of times, so I've got to try and put the
I see you pulling the rope in.
Yeah.
All right, I've got it.
Got to show people that I'm not a dick. Just
well, it says the lad who was sending me Jim Davidson videos. What a cretin of a man! What an absolute doyle of a man!
I always liked him when I was a kid. I used to watch his stand up with my mum.
Kid. But that's what fucking British stand up was in like the early 90s, and we were showing stand up from the late 80s as well, which was that sort of fucking height for them. And then now you look back and you're like, this is just horrible bastards. We've actually no crack.
Town and met like, none of this is really that funny
at all.
I mean, there's some of the jokes though where you could just change who it's about to mother-in-law or whatever, and they would still work as good jokes. Sometimes you're wondering why he's mentioning the Chinese at all. Do you know what I mean?
That goes to prove that it's not a joke. There's literally, he's like, I could fit anyone in here. Who do I hate?
I like the idea though that he's took all the comedians back then used to just share material anyway, innit, and just do each other's material. I like the idea that one of them came along one day and went, "This is all good stuff, but I want to write a book with it. So I'm just gonna change this to the Chinese, the Indian down the road." Just took all of... Who was that guy who used to do all the mother-in-law stuff and play the piano?
Oh.
Bob. Was it?
Is it?
I can't remember his name.
Is it Monkhouse?
It could be Bob Monkhouse, maybe.
Lighthouse?
I can't remember. But either way, he just took all of his jokes and was like, not mother-in-law, no.
No, that's far too easy. I actually like
the fella from the corner shop.
Yeah, the man with the red dot on his head.
Yeah.
That was their brow of Jim Davidson comedy. That's the sort of level we were looking at. Back to Lost again.
Go on.
Because, I mean, the name of the show is What's Happened with the Show. Epstein's it's a primer. It's definitely a primer for Epstein. The vaccine, there's a vaccine injected to a kid. We're not entirely sure what the fuck that does yet. That whips in COVID. in a wanna, or SARS, because SARS and that was around, and I
SARS
think
likes to come back.
swine flu was around that time as well. I think because I
Foot
think
and mouth as well potentially around.
I think
when was this? 2000.
No, foot and mouth was before. Foot and mouth was before.
This has got to be about 2007, 2008. Based off
there was swine flu though. There was swine flu though.
Was it?
If you remember swine flu, they killed a fucking shitload. Well, they killed all the livestock where I lived.
Yeah, big piles of them burning, wasn't it?
Mate, my entire the village would just absolutely just come outside and the whole
Stink
place
of
just
barbecue.
Yeah, just dead burnt animal, like off burnt animal. It was fucking.
We went through a phase when I lived
disgusting.
in a village where they started piling what was known as human shit in the fields. That was hanging when the sun had hit that. Rotten. They'd spread it on the fields, apparently. It was treated human shit from Wigan.
Yeah. Well, it's just general manure in it, but we used to use just animal manure like most farms do.
Well, yeah, but this was... We knew.
Got a bit out of hand where you were from, weren't they?
Because the farmer would see like families and that going on it, and then he'd recognise them in the pub and be like, "Whoa, don't let your kid go on that because that's not cow. That's come from this."
I mean, yeah, it would have been fine for your kid to go all our cow shit, like what it is. Like your kid would have had a lovely made sandcastles out of that all day long. But the fact that it's come out of humans' ass, it's a no go now, mate.
Did you have a game where you'd play it in the pub once a year, where the fella would get pissed and walk a cow round the field, and wherever the cow shat, if someone had picked that quadrant of the field, that person won the prize?
What 16th century fucking alehouse did you used to attend? Where did you live? Like the Dark Ages?
I don't.
Were you
know.
a fucking blacksmith in a former life for like fucking King Alfred or something?
Nah, that was a thing, wasn't it? That's what they did. Once a year.
Your version of bingo was...
Yeah, it was like bingo, yeah.
Let a pissed bloke lead a fucking cow around the field until it shite.
It's like that game you'll have heard of where people used to cut the head off of a chicken and then let it run around, and wherever it landed on the sand would be like, oh, it's landed on B5.
Do you remember, did you ever do...
like battleships.
Did your mum or dad ever do the fucking pools, the footy pools, where they put the scores on the footballer? On the back there was always a guess where the ball is, and like they'd have they'd have a picture like from a football match, but they'd take the ball away, and you'd have to guess which quadrant. They would be divided into a grid, and you'd have to guess which quadrant the ball was in. This is that, but for fucking peasants of the Tudor ages or something.
People who can't afford to pay.
People who don't have a letterbox for the free pool slip to come through on a weekend.
You didn't have that then?
No, mate. You'd be surprised to find out. We never.
Speaking of childhood, I have a question I've wanted to ask you for a while, but I've been saving it for a show.
Jesus wept.
Right, yeah, I've actually managed to keep all of this in my head. What did you used to leave Father Christmas out as a kid?
Oh, right. Whiskey?
Yes, mate.
And a mince pie.
Oh, see, it was whiskey and a carrot, but the main point...
Oh, and a carrot, yeah. A carrot was for was for Rudolph. But then
it was the drink I was concerned with.
Whiskey and a mince
pie. I brought it
pie.
up with my missus and she said milk, and I've been asking a lot of other people as I meet them, and they've all said milk. And then I was starting to think maybe my dad had a drinking problem.
No, our dads have a drinking problem.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, at least I'm not in this on my own, but...
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think
that's clever though, isn't it? I've been thinking it is clever to on Christmas Eve treat yourself and get your kid to pour you a glass of whiskey.
That's exactly it, mate. It's like I've been fucking putting these presents under the bastard tree all day. Think he's been doing all the last minute running around because fucking mum's forgot shit. Oh, I haven't got this. Oh, I've got no potatoes. Oh, where the fuck's the fat to cook shit in? Dad's been out fucking doing all that shit, driving, can't be arsed. Then he's got to do all the regular shit as well. The bloke deserves a fucking whiskey and a mince pie at the end of the day. And do you know what? From like the age of 5, I knew exactly where that whiskey and that mince pie was going. And did I stop? No. I made sure he got it. Because I've dealt with my mum on the lead up to Christmas, and that shit is like dealing with a fucking hostage situation. Oh. So I could have drank that whiskey as well from the age of 5. I could have fucking done with one and all.
I want to say that I like the idea, but I don't like the idea in that way. But I think it's a funny idea that... I don't want to speak about my mum in this way, or your mum really, because I don't think you'd like me speaking about your mum in this way. But I love the idea of the mum being like, I'm gonna get the lad to go and pour a glass of whiskey, because that's going to take him 10 minutes, because he's a fucking idiot. And he's going to know, the fella's going to know that he's getting a glass of whiskey, so he's not coming upstairs. And then she goes upstairs and slips into like a Mrs. Claus kind of thing, and she's like, right, I'll get myself going, because he only lasts a couple of minutes anyway. And then the dad has the whiskey, and then he's like, oh, fuck it, I might as well go to bed and watch the telly. Goes upstairs, and then she's there like, hello. And then that's when the kid also, discovers drink that night, coincidentally.
Have you got some traumatic issues we've got to deal with on the show?
I may do, but I'm not sure if they come out in that sort of way. It'd be amazing if that's where it all comes from. Just when I make stuff up, it's actually just real things.
Yeah, oh, mate, there's going to be a point. There is going to be a show, whether it's soon or whether it's like a while down the line, where mid explanation of some fucked up theory, it's just, I'm going to watch your face change, like what little colour is on it.
It's because my uncle put his finger up my arse.
Yeah, you're just going to...
Twigs.
Yeah, you're just going to snap, and all of these things are going to fall into place. Like, on one of the episodes of Lost I've just got on, like, they found a bunker. In the bunker, there is this is a part you'd love. This is a part I know you'd love, because you would do what they did. And they get there, there's a bloke in this bunker, right?
Kill him.
He fucks off anyway. He runs away.
I would probably kill him to take the bunker in that situation.
Oh, no, he runs off anyway. They're taking the bunker. He fucks off. But in the bunker, there's a timer, and it counts down from 108 minutes to 1 minute, right?
Right.
And there's a code you've got to input in this computer before the timer hits 0 and it resets the timer. Nobody knows what the fuck happens if that timer hits 0 and it just runs out. No one's got a fucking clue. You've got this mad sound coming back again, but I think it'll sort it out. It's fucking... Anyway, so they start hitting this timer.
Right.
And don't stop. Even though they have no explanation as to why they're doing it.
Hitting it as in, like, literally hitting it?
No.
The timer
they got to put a code in. They got to put a code in.
Right. Okay.
And they've done it every time. Yeah. Now, would you do that?
No, I would tell everybody. I would get some of the stronger people and the smarter people. I'd be like, look, we're going to hurt him there, and he's not going to be able to leave. We're going to all go outside, and we're going to barricade the door. He's going to stay in here, and he's going to make it his mission to keep doing that timer. We'll be well away from here for when we know he's definitely not doing that timer anymore, because he'll be dead by that point. Even if it's because he's died of blood loss or because it's been a few days and he's not ate, or however long, and we'll come back and we'll see what's happened because of the timer if we can figure it out.
All right, that's an all right litmus test. I agree. I would not even want him to be dead. I'd just tie him up so he could survive the timer immediately getting counted down.
Oh yeah, because that does the first timer, doesn't it?
Yeah, because then you would.
Yeah.
Then
I
you
was
could
wanting to instill panic in the guy.
Nah, because you don't want him. I want to see if anything happens to him if he's alive when the timer goes down.
Yeah, but then when he's alive and the timer goes down and nothing happens, he's not going to trust any of you. So you need him dead anyway, because he's just going to turn on you and maybe.
Yeah, then you go back in and kill him.
Yeah, but then no one else is going to trust you, because now you've literally used this person.
We all kill him.
Beforehand, you've got fear.
No. We all in agreement that bloke is a sacrifice.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a sacrifice that has to happen. That's fine for the greater good. But yeah, this button, they're alluding to. This whole thing is set up by what's called the Dharma Collective, which is like basically like what seems to be a social experiment set up by two psychology majors who developed this foundation, the Hanzo Foundation.
This is in Lost.
Yeah, this is in Lost.
Okay.
You know shit like this. You've read stuff about this in the fucking in the true life as well, in the real world.
That's why I was questioning.
Yeah. But this is something that you can fucking find loads of similarities in. But they are alluding to this being like a social experiment, and that the test subjects were meant to be brought here, and the experiment was to like, how obedient are you? Will you fucking press this button just time and time again for like what you think is the greater good? But obviously shit's got mad out of hand.
But this is what I think the real world is. That's a really good way to describe it.
An obedience test.
In essence, maybe gone out of hand So we can't see it, so we can't see what we're being tested on. When I did psychology at college, we got taught this stuff about how they would observe people and how they used to get students to go to places like McDonald's, Burger King and stuff like that, and fast food places and popular place where lots of people would come, and they'd be like, look, I need you to count how many people come in with a red shirt, blue shirt, green shirt, keep account of all that, how many of them are male or female, and do that. And they would make them do it for months on end just to see how long
Yep.
people would do it for.
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
was the actual test, things like that. I think that's going on with everything, mate. The people on the streets being like, have you heard of Shelter? Have you heard of Help the Heroes? And the way if they can get money in, fantastic. But I think that's probably why they get paid more than what you would think they'd get paid, because they're actually being used to test people. Because in them sort of jobs, you also need to make a note of how many people you interacted with a lot of the time. So everyone's constantly measuring things. Who's collating all that data? And it's probably people in suits hiding underneath fucking boots and that.
We really do. The old Jack really hasn't gone away, has he?
He gets his voice.
He gets his voice every now and then.
He likes to be heard.
Fucking hell. I'm sort of with you to a degree, mate. I
They
don't.
might not be literally underground, but
No, I don't think.
under boots.
I'm
but
not with that. I'm not with that.
Not with all the security cameras and that now, but maybe back in the day they probably were.
There are a hell of a lot of tests on obedience, like the Stanford prison experiment. That's an obvious one.
That Milgram one with the camera where they just filmed people pissing at a urinal just to see what would happen. I'm pretty sure it was Milgram. They got a big
Didn't
TV
Milgram do the
production
one?
camera.
Didn't Milgram do the one with the pressing a button that would shock someone on the other side?
Yeah, behind the door, and they thought it was killing them.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm sure Milgram did another test where he had a big TV style like BBC production camera, and he'd put it on his shoulder or get it mounted on a track in the men's toilets, and then when someone was pissing, he'd come and use it and film them and see what would happen if he gets closer and further away. And basically, all he reported was people get very uncomfortable if you film them at a urinal. They get agitated, and he was trying to measure that.
There was a point in time, and there still is, where universities would get far too much money to carry out research without any sort of...
it was at least too easy to get the money.
Just far too... They were just thrown... What are you doing? Yeah, it sounds like a sick idea. I'll give you 5 million. No problem. All the resources you need. Some good shit. Like, the 70s and 80s and that was amazing time to be a psychologist or something like that. But...
Or a closeted gay man.
Yeah.
Because that's what that would probably have been.
Yeah.
He's got a wife and kids at home. He's like, look, I want to spend my spare time filming men in bathrooms.
Just filming bell ends.
I just want to see. Well, I want to see how they react. Yeah, just how they react. You know.
That's what I want to see. But what it's really pertinent to the state of experiment that I zoom in and out of the penis.
Yeah. It's moving. Well, that's
it's pointless.
What
otherwise.
he was doing, he would move closer, apparently, with the camera. Move away. I can't remember if he was. I can't imagine he's aiming the camera at the face. If you want maximum like upsettedness, you're aiming it at the dick, aren't you?
You are aiming
right
at
for
peen.
the bell end,
right
as
on the
close
peen.
as so you get the steam on the lens.
Steam
from the piss.
Oh God! Hey, I'm glad that it was the piss. But yeah, so in that, from all of those experiments, it's been proved that humans will not only not only very obedient, but even in the face of like perceived their perceived infliction of pain upon others, whether it's directly or indirectly, even with that in mind, they will still be obedient because it's almost what's expected of them, or because they're asked to, and because they're told that it's going to be okay.
Conformance as well. Like look at COVID when they were like, "Don't go near each other."
Yeah, but the thing is,
they tried to make. I think with COVID, they tried to make everybody look at the nurses and doctors as if they were lazy bastards because they were dancing and that, and then they were like, "Right, go outside and clap all next to each other at this time every week."
COVID is a fucking horrible one to try and use in favour of anything because there was so many facets and there was.
I mean, specifically for the clapping.
Yeah,
getting them to do that as if that makes. I think that was somebody else who was much smarter than the person who was trying to turn everyone against like nurses and healthcare, whoever it was that was trying to turn the public against that. 'Cause I don't know if you remember, but there was loads of stuff to try and make you not like the nurses and
But
not
of
like
course,
the doctors.
that's never conspiracy. That's always just media knowing scandal sells. Anything like that is never doesn't have to be conspiracy. They just knew in the forefront at that time. The biggest groups of people that were sort of talked about in the public eye were nurses and doctors. Well, just healthcare professionals in general. So when everyone's locked inside, can't go out and can't see other people, so they don't see people of other cultures who they could hate because the media are right about them. People of other vocations that the media could get you to hate. The professional healthcare professionals were always in the public eye. So a great way to sell copy, to drive fucking clicks to your website, immediately create scandal about them. And
Fair enough. Okay.
And they were allowed to be outside. The public have got to be inside. So immediately the public are going to go, well, they're allowed out and I'm not. So they get to do this. I hate them now. It's a bad... COVID's a really horrible one to try and use in favour of any argument. And this is like from trying to look at it myself. Because there were just so many strings were getting pulled from so many different angles that you can't all say it was because of one reason.
And it was probably just to cover up fucking something mental that we'll never even know about, or
no, I think it happened. I think it happened. I think it happened. It happened. Like, but
well, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it could have been some. We don't need to get into COVID. That could be a whole different show.
No. It's what we're seeing. What we're seeing. Like, if nothing else, the virus was real. But everything that happened around it, all the government deals and all that shit, were blatantly just seizing an opportunity to make a shitload of money from a terrible situation, and none of them were an attempt to actually help anything. But
actually, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say to cover up disclosure again.
Yeah, but I think
because that happened during it.
With the obedience thing you're talking about, I don't think everyone out there that's collecting data is doing it to measure our obedience. Data's just
not just obedience, but generally to gather data.
It's not even that. It's just that's how companies
to make money.
It shows they've made that nowadays, if you're working any sort of job, that's proof you've done your job. Is the data
but
to
then
prove you've collated
buying
something?
That data as well, because
only
way
sometimes
to make money is to sell data.
No. Only sometimes. Not every company sells it. So yes, obviously some companies will. But even then, it only goes to like advertise and shit like that. So they can look to try and sell you stuff.
But there's a lot of money in advertising, and there's a lot of money
100%.
But there's also a lot of money in black book operations. So advertising could be a way to do that. Plus, advertising is like pure propaganda and mind manipulation tactics that we built in the '60s.
And this is what I'm sort of coming to. Is like in that sense, like
they could be together.
We don't have to be measured by like you're saying, like the likes of shelter or help the homeless on the street or anything like that. We don't have to be, because it was proved through the Milgram experiment and Stanford and all this shit all those years ago that we can be. We don't need to be studied in order to like see if that continues. It's proved it has. But what we do get now is we now see the consequences of it. So like in the face of governments that have done nothing to serve anyone and have, like we've just said, proven to drained hundreds of millions from like the people, we still live under their rule. Like in the face of the police that have proven to fucking attacked, raped, killed countless people, we still live in this fucking like blasé pull the wool over your own eyes thing where you pretend that they're not evil and they're still upholding the law. Like,
and really, that's just because there's not enough of us standing outside of police stations holding phone cameras filming the gates.
Oh, they are. Do you know what? I think
that's what the world needs more of.
Mate, those auditors
heroes.
They're just as... That is hilarious. The fact that I'm just out here doing my job, mate. Well, me. I'm just an auditor, mate. Well, someone's got to film them. Who's going to fucking watch The Watchmen, eh? I'm just doing my bit, mate. They're the police auditors are the new, like, Dark Justice, you know, the paedophile hunters. You know, like, those groups of the last few years. Yeah. It's the people like, mate, just allow Colero, I know me.
Imagine if that's what Fathers for Justice was of the original paedophile vigilantes, and that's why they were climbing on Buckingham Palace, because they knew what Jimmy Savile was taking in there.
It's an entertaining one, but they were very bad at it because they never once let their motives known. be known. And I
No,
think
no.
if that was the case, there would be a lot less Fathers for Justice members in prison and a lot more nonsense off the streets.
I think there would be more Fathers for Justice members in prison if they were trying to uncover a paedophile scandal that involved the royal family, though.
They would be in prison. They'd just be at the bottom of lakes.
Just disappeared.
Yeah, 100%.
With them swans where fucking, what's her face, Princess Diana's buried, supposedly. Well, bits of her.
Bits of her.
Well, I
No,
can't
the
imagine
bits
they
they
got
could
her all.
find. Yeah. I suppose some of them are still in the tarmac.
Because you don't want to bury a bit of bumper in with her, do you? Or a bit of car seat where she's melted into.
As long as it's not got any metal that could be scrapped, then I don't see any problem. But like, if
Yeah,
there's,
don't
there's
lose the money.
if there's anything of worth to be picked out of there, like if there's any bit of platinum left from the catalytic converter or something, then you want to fucking pick that out the skin. You know what I mean? I don't know what else I got with Lost. There's heroin, there's drugs. That's good. That's always good.
But that leads in as well to the wars that were about to come.
Yeah,
The Opium Wars, basically.
this is not a bad tie. This is it. Like I'm
And then you said it kept mentioning Iraq, and from Iraq we went to Afghanistan again, didn't we?
That's around those times though. So we were there
Okay.
because the bloke
Well, maybe it was a way of telling us this is actually about opium. Get ready to learn about opium. We're about to have an opiate crisis in America and in parts of England. Plus, we're also going to start killing a load of people from those countries for opium. But now we know it's oil.
Yeah, this is all. I'm starting to think that it's all like almost a bit of a warning, a bit like people used to say about Utopia on Channel 4.
Yeah. I was saying last night to my girlfriend I probably
sort of
should
thing.
never have watched Utopia.
Same sort of thing. Brilliantly done.
Yeah, incredible.
Lost,
The original, anyway.
yeah, American one's fucking bollocks, but the
Painful.
British one's fucking one of the best series. But I think we're towards the end of the second series of Lost.
Okay.
Shit's getting a bit deep. I don't expect half of these questions to be answered. Oh, another one. So one of them was a cripple before he hit the island, and then he could walk. And another one was dying with terminal cancer, and now her cancer's gone since she's been on the island. So like, there's some sort
So
of
are they dead?
there's some sort of health restoring qualities there because some people have died.
Oh, okay.
So there have been murders and
right,
deaths on
okay.
the island.
But
peop-
could you not have said they've gone to like hell or something, but they're all living in some form of heaven, or vice versa?
No, because there's loads of people there's loads of alive that are just healthy people who were there.
Yeah, but they've not done what's like the prerequisites or whatever would be deemed for.
No, this is Earth. They're definitely still on Earth.
Okay.
Things have happened to like sort of prove. On top of this,
Okay.
instead of like there's they obviously do like I don't know if it was like one of the first to do this, but they do the whole introducing each character with their own episode sort of thing.
Ah,
I
it'd
think
be good if they did it like The Office. And it's just them to camera.
through the
Or
fourth
like
wall.
Jersey Shore kind of thing.
Probably like Naked and Afraid or whatever it is.
I'm Dodgy Teddy, and
No.
I'm on this plane because I was caught raping.
Yeah,
I'm
just-
actually like the guy out of Con Air.
No, he didn't do the rapes. Oh, I suppose Cyrus the Virus. Not yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Not Buscemi's character, the one who actually never. But, yeah, while they were introducing them, oh, what the fuck was I gonna? Who was I coming to? Who the fuck was I coming to? You've got us off pieced. Oh, yeah.
I beshemied him. You get
Oh,
them
right.
eyes in
So,
your head.
so in the episodes, you clearly see that like loads of these people somehow met each other before they got on this plane.
Okay.
Like in different scenes, or some of them
That's
met each other's
interesting.
parents, bits like that. So like they weren't. It's alluding to the fact they were almost selected to all be on here together.
Yeah, interconnected.
Yeah, and there's almost like supply drops dropping, like a fucking hot air balloon dropped.
Like Battle Royale where they throw binoculars down and stuff for them.
Full of there's loads of supplies and that, and they keep sort of like almost as if like this was all set up for them to be the ones there.
Yeah. It'd be mint if it was just for them and they had to fill the plane with regular people anyway, and then one of the person's jobs on the plane is to kill all of the other passengers while these ones are unconscious. You know, you give them all the cans of Coke or whatever it is they're drinking as they go around, and you drug these ones that you need to survive. And then they were just like three of them were employed to fucking kill all the other passengers, snap their necks, cut their heads off or whatever. And then before the plane crashed, the three of them just DB Cooper out of the plane, get on a speedboat and they're off.
It'd be a shorter series,
No. The ones who are still alive on the show
right?
end up on the island, and that's how they ended up with them, and that's how they know It's these specific people that we would need to test. We can't allow for these other variables here, and we don't want them, like procreating or anything. So we want to limit them opportunities because, at least if they fuck the corpses in the planes, the others are going to look down on them, so they're probably not going to do that.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't think we're going to see that, but Rajda things have happened, so it's quite possible. It's quite possible.
It sounds like they just threw. It sounds like Lost seems to sound, from what I've heard about it and what you're now describing, it sounds like the equivalent of the South Park bit about Family Guy. Really.
Yeah.
It sounds like they've got a load of conspiracies in little balls and then just gone, oh, dumbs.
Yes.
You've got dumbs and men in hats.
Yeah, what they've done is they've taken each character, because and each character gets the fucking, that's the first ball that the fucking dolphin comes and picks out of. Then it'll be flashback. So they have flashback, and the flashback will be something.
The Korean guy's parents.
How did you know there's Korean people in it?
There's always Korean people in American TV shows.
Yeah, there's a Korean couple.
For some reason, I don't know why they always say they're Korean. But
it's to hit the market. That's why, mate. That's why. Because
I've always thought maybe it's because the Americans have a history with Japan in one respect, where they're like, we don't like the Japanese because they weren't exactly great to us because of Pearl Harbor, and then they don't like the Chinese because the other way around, where the Americans weren't particularly nice to the Chinese, where they forced them all to be slaves for however long to build train tracks and that. Yeah. So Koreans is like the safe choice.
That is exactly what I was coming to, is the Korean is the neutral Asian.
Yeah, because they can't really have the Vietnamese either.
Most neutral of the Asians. Most others either have some form of sketchy leader in the form of a dictator, some sort of odd king,
or an abusive relationship with America,
and some sort
in
of
one direction or the other,
or both. Because you were very quick to point out that Japan was nasty to America and Pearl.
A good go though, didn't they?
Yeah, I would say out of Pearl Harbor and 2 fucking huge fireworks getting dropped and wiping out 2 entire cities off the map.
Oh, that wasn't a racist thing either. That because you said fireworks.
What, because of the Asians?
You said fireworks.
Okay.
I meant because I went like that. I didn't want you to think I was taking the piss. I did research onto fireworks, mate.
You did. Okay, right. Let's shoot. We've got an hour or 2 minutes, and we've now hit probably the only thing on that pad that we've hit today.
Yeah, probably.
This better be strong because we're ending on this.
Okay, so a couple of questions to get us going. Do you think fireworks are used for something?
Yes.
What do you think they're used for, other than entertainment and competitions? Scaring dogs.
I have watched them be used as weapons in Stratford bus station.
I've watched them be used as weapons as well.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm smiling with that, but
because it's
childhood stuff in it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
In a way.
Yeah.
But, okay, so other than that, but a grander, bigger scale thing.
What, a warning?
No, well, that's probably what they were originally used for in China, yeah. But no, what if they're used for changing the atmosphere? Because, I did, again, research. Maybe it's a way of, like, in the past, cultures have had things like events and, rituals to bring in the winter.
Yes.
So what if this is just a new way of doing it because we lost all the ritualistic stuff and we lost culture along the years and paganism and all that sort of stuff where we give special words to priests or gods. We lost that, so we had to fight, or we killed the gods or tried to clone them and make our own versions of them so we could use them in war and things like that. What if instead of all of that, I believe that we gave that a good go. Yeah, I think that's what Pokemon was trying to tell us in the first film.
What?
With Mewtwo.
What?
I think there's things with so Mewtwo was the idea that they caught Mew and then they put extra DNA into it, partly human DNA. I think.
No, they squared it. They squared it. That's how you get Mewtwo. Mew squared. Mewtwo.
No, it was just the second Mew. No, it was just the second Mew.
No, they squared it.
Well, whatever. They actually had quite round edges.
I watched the film, mate. I
don't remember it in being squared.
I remember getting the exclusive Pokemon guide for seeing it at the cinema.
Which one did you get?
I got the Pikachu.
Did you? I got the Dragonite.
Did, lad.
the Dragonite with the bag.
Oh, check you out.
Yeah.
Go
Anyway,
on.
so they did
Too
that.
cool
and
for
they-
these
they
kids,
put
by
it-
the way. These kids, all these divvies who are collecting Pokemon cards now, who used to buy cryptocurrency, you all sell weed and coke. I see you on Instagram and shit buying Pokemon cards as if you're gonna somehow break the world with them. You don't have the shiny Pokemon film Pikachu from like 2000
Or the
or
original
whatever it is.
ancient Mew cards
Oh,
and all them.
jeez!
People
Carry
used
on.
to fight over them.
I saw people lose eyes for less.
Anyway, so there's that concept in that, and then there was that film, a TV series on Netflix about sleep. There's this sleep demon got captured, and they keep him in a ball, and then they try and test him and try and use him for their own advantage. And there's these stories all through Neo Genesis Evangelion as well. They capture one of these so-called angels and extract
fuck
its
is that?
DNA. It's a
What is
fucking
that?
I think it's one of the best TV shows ever made, and I recommend you get as high as you can and watch it.
Say it again.
Neo Genesis Evangelion.
Right. Okay.
It's a Japanese anime.
Oh,
It's
I've
on
got it.
I've never been into anime. I've watched that and I've watched Castlevania and I've tried others, never enjoyed them. Neo Genesis Evangelion, get as fucking high as you can and watch it, and I guarantee it will fucking wreck your head. Because to me, it felt like it was a documentary.
That's worrying.
So, but to you, you'll probably now watch that with that in mind and think, yeah, he's not changed at all. But
I know you've not changed at all.
okay, well, still. Right, so I think they take these creatures or gods or whatever and try to mess with the DNA or control them in some way or other. But maybe we accidentally killed the last ones or these otherworldly creatures that we've used throughout time to
When
prey
did we
with or
do
whatever.
this?
I don't know. But I just think it's happened.
We've only
Because I think that's why the stories repeat. I think a lot of stories that people tell in TV shows, cartoons, films, things like that, I think it all comes from this sort of collective thing. I was also thinking the other day, though, as well, just to add to that there's these stories.
Well,
that we've always been trying to
no.
tell.
Before you go on, the
go.
people need to know how excited you've got at this and how wide your eyes are, which is usually fucking worrying because this means you've been hard at work here, and that means the spiral's in process.
No, it's fine. I think we'll see.
It's not, I'll talk you down. I'll give you a few minutes, and I will talk you down from this before we leave.
My girlfriend will be so happy that you do that now.
Yeah,
She just gets left alone.
Clearly needs to happen.
Right, so where was it going? Right, so they take the monsters, blah blah blah. They use them or they kill them, and we don't have the rituals anymore. But I was thinking that maybe with these stories that keep getting told, which are all very similar stories, which you've said in the past is things like, but these stories sell, people like them, and it's old stories being retold.
Yeah.
But what if it's for some sense of simulation or dream, and the creature that we're all living inside of or are a part of in some way or other, be it like the universe, if you like, in quotation marks, or whatever that may be, isn't functioning properly and needs to wake up or change its state of sleep like in Inception. And that's why they've started changing all of the TV shows now to be more like inclusive and making it so it appeals less to the audience, because we're all the collective audience, and people are generally all across the internet are like, I don't like the fact that all of these people in this TV show are now women, or I don't like that Davros isn't a wheelchair user, blah, 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 right? But that's besides the point. My point is, they might be using fireworks to bring in the winter for cloud seeding. So I looked at what chemicals are the most prominent chemicals in fireworks.
Yes.
Potassium nitrate,
Yes.
charcoal sulfur, right? Magnesium, but one of the ones that's in every type of firework, especially rockets, the more airborne ones rather than like Roman candles and Catherine wheels. Aluminium is in most of them.
Yeah.
Because aluminium's how you make the white and silver thing in the sky.
Yep.
Now, if you put loads of aluminium in the sky, that's the main component supposedly for cloud seeding and making clouds form, which is where rain comes from, as we're told by like science, if you like. So I thought maybe all of the trailing lights from it is a way to spread it through the sky, bring about the clouds, bring about the rain, bring about the winter.
So you believe in science?
I don't.
So that's
because I thought I was onto something here.
so it because first off, I've got two ways to go from this.
Okay.
The very best way for you, really, are the best. If your theory is anywhere correct, you have to admit that aluminium. First off, you have to admit that all of those things are components, metals that exist because they have been formed by the Earth, which itself is a
I've
scientific.
never said metals don't
some
exist.
sort of
though.
scientific theory itself.
I've never said metals don't
But
exist.
it's something determined by scientists.
Okay, I'll concede.
And you also then have to admit that scientific theory on the creation of clouds.
A scientific theory that the public and the main general sort of world of science says is nonsense, and that the people that do it in fancy countries and expensive desert-like countries say they don't actually do it by
No, they
that,
don't. No,
and
they
that it's
don't.
not real, from what I've read.
They've admitted cloud seeding's gone on for years. It's been fully
With aluminium, though, because aluminium's always been the thing where that's the conspiracy. They're putting aluminium.
All right,
in the sky.
I don't really believe it that it's aluminium that's the issue. I think that is bullshit. Yeah, I'm not with you on that either. But
Okay.
what I would also say is no to all of it.
Even the capturing of the the old gods and stuff,
Absolutely,
monsters and extra-dimensional entities and creatures.
Lost me from the very start. From the moment you said that we fucked with their DNA, when we only sequenced DNA within our lives, within your and my lifetime. We had no idea before that what the DNA sequence was, how to in any way study it.
Okay,
What?
does that not
Before you carry on,
I want to rebuttal, right? Because I'll forget, you won't forget. What if that's only properly come about? So you fucking distracted me now. Come on, carry on. It's fucking gone. The thing I was going to say was to be about the DNA. The DNA's only been sequenced while we've been alive. What if that's why people used to say summers were longer and summers were warmer and all of that, because we weren't able to sequence the DNA and inject it and affect these creatures and be able to make these hybridized godlike creatures, god-men creatures, demigod monsters. We weren't able to do that, and now we can do that, and that's why weather is different and climate change has come about, because somebody's got control of these monsters who can't quite control them. And that's what all of this sort of narrative in all of the films and TV shows that are on telly, or at least on my telly, that's where that comes from, because someone's trying to say, look, we can't control this. We've opened Pandora's box in essence here with genetic hybridization.
I'd say we need to start having some longer talks outside of this podcast, because none of that. If I read that, but if I said that out to you and you hadn't had that idea before, I would fucking hope that you were like, Jimmy, we need to have a talk. We need to sit down and really think about this. Cause, mate,
I'd be well into that if you started saying stuff like that.
Let's start with the films and programs and all that shit. It's just finite amount of stories. I say this every time. I said that. Say this every time. Yeah, but
credit, I said you would say this.
You then completely ignore it when it's not only me saying it. Like it's also said by people in the creative world. Like there are books about it. Same with like when you look at like the most common archetypes, that there are only a certain amount of archetypes that you see in literature and stories.
Yeah.
Like there are a finite number.
I think there's 12.
There you go. Like
12 archetypal characters, which also ties into another conspiracy we don't need to get into now, but about the 12 and the 12 people, the 12 characters and all of that side of things.
Fuck 12, and I say that in all aspects.
You could look on his face when I started saying numbers. He looked terrified. Sometimes when I say stuff, this is why we need to film these, man, because when people can see the look of concern on your face when I say certain things, and it's as if he rolls his eyes without rolling them in. He doesn't roll his eyes because it's like he doesn't want to take his eyes off me because he can't see what I've got in my hands. In some way, I disbelieve almost every theory you propose. However, there is a very small percentage of me that thinks if anyone is going to have some sort of supernatural fucked up ability, it's going to be you. And you're going to be able to reach through the fucking screen and slit my throat. So that I was talking about my own, but go on.
I
like the idea of that Freddy Krueger in your fucking Nightmare on Elm Street 3 through the telly.
I'm not a massive fan of it, and that's why I keep my eyes on you whenever the webcam's on, because I'm just being fucking sure for myself. I'm also looking out to see if any demons or something do pop up in your background, just so I can be like, oh, that's why he thinks of them, because they do exist in his house.
They're with him, yeah.
Yeah. No one else has seen them because they don't hang around with anyone else. He actually lives with them. But no, the stories are fucking stories have passed down, same shit, just fucking rehashed because that's the only ideas we've got, and writers are boring. That's why. This is why. Wait. This is why when something that we like or something new that comes out that is totally different and has a completely different plot line or something original, it splits audiences more than anything else. Because you'll get a load of people on one side being like, I don't like that, because they can't buy into it because it doesn't follow the standard or the formula that everything they watch does. Like people who watch all crime dramas that are the fucking same. Or people that watch all like romantic dramas or romantic films that are the fucking same. Like when something splits that or something new comes along, which Lost was, to be fair, it fucking completely divides opinion, because some people are yearning for something different and are like, this is new in my head, I've got to work something out. Like when films started doing it, which again, this was something new that then became the norm. When films started chopping around with like times and tenses. Like when you would see things in fast tense, different, like when Tarantino would do different fucking like time sequences for characters and then bring them all together, and it wouldn't be a direct timeline or a coherent timeline, like a fucking linear timeline. That when that was like, when there was only a few films or a few series that had done that, fucking something completely different, mind blowing. Now that's just become the norm as well because it's been used to death.
Do you know a TV show that does that really well?
Go on.
Dark.
Not seen it.
Amazing. I've purposely not watched the last 2 episodes because it was that good, and I know I'm going to get very depressed if I ever watch the end of it.
One of them, eh?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to continue to watch Lost because it's one of those where you can get fucking absolutely blitzed on edibles before. Because the thing is, you don't actually have to follow the plot lines, even though I do anyway. You don't have to, because you'll never get the answers to them.
No, it's not going to. It sounds like it's purposely not going to give them to you. It's like every 10 minutes is a cliffhanger by the sounds of it.
It's almost
or
as
every
if
advert break was a cliffhanger, kind of.
It's almost if it's an anthology and every episode is just a different board of writers. And they've gone, right, here's everything the last writers did. Do something with that.
That, what you've just said, the board of writers, ties onto the sort of extra point I'd written down about Fireworks because I knew you'd bring up about the stories.
Okay.
What if it's simply because people were trying to come up with new stories and everyone spent the summer nights colluding, and then people were like, look, these people are trying to think for themselves, we need to bring in the rain.
Well, all I'm going to say on this point to close is
everybody would be it'd be so hard to make all them people keep a secret.
Aren't you going to be surprised by what I say?
Oh, go on, you're on board. I've won one.
If you were going to have, obviously, what the point we're getting to is that the real people, or the people who do the bidding for the powers that be, are the writers. We've established this now, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to control people, you control the media. So you got to control the writers. If there was one group of people that made up a high percentage of the number of writers that are in successful films and series, if you were to look at those board of writers, what faith would there be?
I don't know, Jimmy. What, in my imagination or in reality? Or
in reality, who are quite highly regarded as the best writers, especially in comedy? Think of the most successful comedy series, like
Richard Curtis,
Seinfeld.
Oh, we're going that way. I thought you was going to say Protestants.
All I'm going to say is your theory sounds pretty anti-Semitic to me.
Well, it didn't to me until you've said it that way.
Well, that's what the world's going to think.
It does give it a lovely little ring to it, doesn't it?
A little, it gives it a lovely little. You could say it puts a star on top of the tree.
Oh.
Be back next week.